My name is Endavar, and this is Surviving with Mekanism. In this series, we are trying to get everything done in Mekanism and find all the hidden things that we never use when it's in a bigger mod pack. But between episodes, I did have a little bit of a disaster. I was doing a bit of farming outside, and I came to my sheep pen, and I was greeted with this sight, which is not good, is it? Somehow a wolf got in, and when I got there, it was just killing the last one. But luckily, I did have a few more at the top of the hill, so I spent a bit of time bringing those down, and I've started breeding those up. And this is where we are with them at the minute. Haven't done a lot, obviously, but I've dyed them all grey because that's the wool that I want to use inside. So I will continue breeding these up because I definitely want a lot more, and I should probably move them inside as well, shouldn't I? Because this is a forest and we will have wolves spawning. But I've dug this land back a little bit because I think there was a block just here. So diagonally they probably could have got across there. So I'm guessing that's what happened. Oh, never mind. All sorted now. So inside I've done a little bit of work, and today I want to get on with my mid-game power generation setup, and for that I'm going to need tons of biofuel, which means I'm going to need to set up some vanilla farms. So I've spent a bit of time digging out this huge area below my storage room. So this is where all the power generation is going to go, but more importantly all the farms that we're going to need to create the biofuel. And it's a pretty decent size with some very neatly placed torches, which is not like me. So I will be doing a little bit more digging out, but I think first we're going to get on with explaining how this power setup works, because I have no idea where it's going to go eventually. So I'll probably just do something down here for now so we can see how it works, and then I can get all the farms set up and then we can work towards doing the final setup. I did intend to move all of these machines out of here as well, because I have my little setup here for getting glass, which I want to copy this and have separate ones for gravel and sand so I can create concrete. But I didn't get around to that because if we have a look over here, all my chests have gone, and that's because I've set up a little bit of a storage area up here. So I've dug this area out a little bit further, and I've just dumped a load of chests down basically. So we have a lot more storage than we had before. Tried to keep it as organised as I can, so that's going pretty well. Got all my valuables over here, all the stuff yet to be processed, and just loads of other stuff, nice and neat. And this is all the wool that I got picked up from that pen after the little incident. Right, anyway, so first things first, I did do a little bit of enchanting between episodes, and to get the XP for that, I've been across to the nether, and I was killing the blazes over there, because I found a blaze spawner. But what I want to do today is to steal that spawner and bring it to my base. Now, how do we do that? Well, what we need to do is craft this thing called a cardboard box. And we do this with sawdust, which we get from a precision sawmill. And the precision sawmill is a very helpful block. What we can do is put any log in and we'll get 6 planks out of it. And there's a 25% chance of getting sawdust every time you do that. But you can also put other things in, anything that's made of wood, and turn it back into another wood, normally sticks. But instead of doing the one with a 25% chance, what we're actually going to do is put sticks into it, and with that we get 1-to-1 of sawdust. So I just need to put in a few sticks, get a load of sawdust, we can craft that into cardboard boxes, and we can use this to move any immovable block. So we can pick up spawners with this, we can also move amethyst geodes, and you can also do it with chests that have things in it as well. So it's a really helpful item. So first things first, let's get on with the sawmill, and I believe it is pretty cheap. Yeah, that's nice and simple, isn't it? So let's get everything we need for that. I'll put the recipe up there as well, and I'm running out there because I think all my stuff's over there, but it's not, is it? Because I've moved it over here. So let's grab this. I did go across to my iron farm as well and got a few little bits from there. Steel casing, osmium again running low. Where's my glass? See, I haven't crafted anything up here, so I don't know where anything is. There we go, there's glass. I don't have a crafting bench, that's not good, is it? Right, let's put you over here. So one steel casing, let's get a few. And then precision sawmill, let's have that. Now, do I have any upgrades anywhere? I'm thinking not. So let's grab a couple of things. Osmium, so let's get the energy upgrades and as many speed upgrades as I can do. I really should put this upstairs, but I'm just going to stick everything down here for now until we get the power sorted. So let's put precision sawmill in there, and this is a horrendously noisy machine. But let's put energy upgrade in there and speed upgrade. And do I have a crusher over here, or is it just the one in there? Right, so I need to turn side config off, and then put some gold in there, and I can craft up some more upgrades with that. Grab some sticks. And if we just put those into the precision sawmill, we can't really hear how loud that machine is because of the rain. Right, so I've grabbed some wool, and we now should be able to make the muffling upgrade. Is that all it is? I thought it was more expensive than that. I'll take that. I'll take a few of these because we've got a few machines, haven't we? So let's have that. But now we can hear the sound of those machines, can't we? And that is very noisy. So that is the sawmill. Horrendous racket. So let's silence that. And we'll do that for all of these as well. Crushers. I don't think an jar smelter is that bad, but let's just grab that. And Wilson, let's do a bit of crafting. Let's get you. Let's do that in there. Right, so now we have 19 sawdust. So we can send that into 4 of cardboard boxes. So now we can go steal a few things and bring them back here. So I do have a few things marked out. I've got a few waypoints below ground, so we can go to those. I've got a zombie spawner and a spider spawner, and I think I've got a geode somewhere as well. Yeah, there's one down there. So I think first though, we'll go to the nether, if I've got any food. Right, so I did do a little bit of work in the nether over here. I've just started boxing this in a little bit, mainly because the blazes were shooting at me from down there, and I couldn't bother with that. Still got the little staircase going down here, but I've also put another portal at the other side. So let's just have a look at this while we're over here. So I've set this portal up, and I did go through and dug down to find what I wanted to find. So let's go have a look at that. So yeah, it does appear underground, which is a bit annoying, but that's okay because I do need to go further down anyway. So if we just have a drop down here, this goes into a deep dark with a ton of silverfish, and that's because it is a stronghold. So we can get rid of these, but what we can also do is if we put that on there, that'll stop those spawning, but it also allow us to take it as well. And I haven't done anything in here. All I've done is dug down, and then I flew straight back out. Will you please go away? Right, so now that that is in a cardboard box, we can just break it with our fist, and we now have a monster spawner in a cardboard box, and that tells us that's silverfish, so that's great. So we can keep that, and we can use that for XP somewhere. So I will get my portal set up down there as well, but the main reason I wanted to come over here, apart from I knew this is where the stronghold was, is that this is also some cold biomes over here, and I haven't dug out of here yet, so this should be interesting. But I believe we should be able to get some spruce and maybe some dark oak around here. My god, am I in the middle of a hill here? Why 118 there? There we go. Right, so this is dark oak, that's pretty good. But I'm assuming, yeah, we've got some spruce over here as well, so I will come back and get this later on. But all we really want to get at the minute is the spawners. So let's get back through here and get the blaze spawner as well. Right, so just down here, this goes to the spawner room, and we have a blaze there. So annoying, those things. And I did spend a little bit of time digging it out as well, just so we could get some more spawns, which I didn't really need to do because I'm going to move it anyway, so let's just put that on there. But I'm glad that I did dig it out because I found my first ancient debris as well, and I thought we'd save it for the episode to mine it, so let's do that now. And we can also do that with the atomic disc cylinder as well, so that's great. So, just the one. Never mind. Alright, so we now have our blaze spawner. Let's grab that. And that's there. Right, so there might be some more in here. I'm not sure, but I would like a bit of variety. So, as I only have 2 more of these, we should probably get back to the overworld and get some other things. What do you want? Right, so back home, I'm just putting some more sticks through the sawmills so we can get some more sawdust. But while we're here, what we can also do with the ancient debris is if we put it into an enrichment chamber, we'll double it, which is great. But better than that, we can put it into a crusher, and that'll give us 3 dirty netherite scraps. And then if we put that into an enrichment chamber, it turns it into netherite. This is how we triple ancient debris with 2 machines. So that's great. So let's put that into the crusher, grab those, and then in the enrichment chamber, let's put those in there, and then that gives us 3 netherite scraps just from the 1 ancient debris. So that's great. And with these, let's get 1 more and craft 4 cardboard boxes. Right, so I've got 7 now, so I don't think I'm going to need that many, but let's see if we can go find these spawners. Alright, so this looks like a spawner room to me. So, right, this is the zombie one, so let's have that. What else we got? Anything decent? No, but I might as well take it all anyway. So let's have that, that, and that. Stick all that in my personal chest. Where's the geode? Where's the other spawner? And there we go. That is a spider spawner as well, so I'll have that. And same load of junk. Okay, so I think that'll do us for spawners. If I can find a skeleton one, that'd be good as well. But those are the 2 that I found while I was doing a bit of mining. So what else we got? Geode. There was a geode, wasn't there? Yeah, let's see if we can get to that. And we'll pick up a couple of those as well. Right, that looks like a geode to me. So let's just break a few of these things. And I might as well fortune a bit of this while I'm here. But what we can also do with these is if we pick up the budding amethyst, which we can't break these with Silk Touch. Standard rules from vanilla also applies here, but instead we can use the cardboard boxes. And if we pick this up, we can just put this down somewhere else. And we can put this in the base. So if we put that down there, all we then need to do is shift right click on. No, that's a spawner. That's not what I wanted to do. Right, you go away. Okay, let's try that again. So amethyst, pull that down, and if we shift right click on it, that is now moved there, and that'll work as it did before over here. So I can put this in my base and get a few of those growing. Let's pick up that spawner result. Right, so I've got 5 of those picked up. So I suppose it's time now to get on with some power generation. Right, so I don't have any intention of using these today, but you never know, we might get around to it. So we'll just put those away for now, and we can get on with setting up everything we need for the power generation. So the first thing we need to do is get some biofuel going, and we're going to use that for 2 different power generators. And the first one is the bio generator. So this is all pretty straightforward. We've got most of it. The only thing we need is the biofuel. So to get this, we just need to use a crusher, and there is a lot of options. We can put pretty much anything that we can grow into here, and it'll turn into biofuel. Now, rotten flesh might be a good one, since we have a zombie spawner. We could just set that up next to here and have those automatically killed. But as you can see, you do get different amounts for different things. So if we can do something that can be farmed easily, but we get a lot from, like melons, that's probably a good one. Pumpkins is another one. So I think a melon and pumpkin farm is definitely going to be a good start, isn't it? But I think we can do sugarcane as well, which is only 1-to-1, so that's not great. But I think if we get that going along with the melons and pumpkins, I often do this with water blocks as well. I just go to the nether and mine a load of them and shove those in the chest. But I think we're going to do the pumpkins this time. So anyway, before we do that, we can just get some of that manually, can't we? So do we have any pumpkin? Yeah, I've got a lot of pumpkins there. So let's just grab those, put those into a crusher, and that gives us the biofuel. And you can see that's 6 for each one, so that's really good. So let's grab some of that. And then with that, we should now be able to craft the bio generator. So I never really use these. I normally skip straight ahead to the gas burning generator, but it is a slightly more complicated setup. So let's have a look at how much this generates. I don't even know. So let's just give it a go. So if we just put this down here somewhere, I'm probably going to do things up down the middle. And I have all the gas burning generators down the middle, and I can have the farms off to the side. So let's just do the same thing with this. I've put the biofuel directly into there. This is producing 140 FE per tick, which is not bad at all. It's definitely better than what we've got at the moment. But the downside to it is we need to keep it fueled with the biofuel. So as you can see, that is going to run down pretty quickly. But this does hold 64,000 FE, so that's pretty good as well. So this is going to be enough to get our setup going. So for the gas burning generator, we obviously need to produce the gases that go into it, and that uses power itself. Now once we get them going, it definitely produces enough power to keep that running, and also a massive surplus that we can send to an energy cube. But if we just have a little generator like this is more than good enough to keep those little machines running, and then we can use all the power to send into there. So let's have a look at the setup now for the gas burning generator, and there are quite a few things to craft here, so let's get on with it. So firstly, we'll do the generator itself, and that's the gas burning generator, and for this we need another one of these things, the electrolytic core. So I need to get a few dust and infused alloys, and then it's 2 steel casing, osmium, and infused alloy again. So pretty pricey thing, but it does generate thousands of FE per tick. Let's grab 2 of those. I don't think I've got any dust now because I used it all. So what was it? It was osmium, iron, and gold. And I'm definitely going to need to get my machines in the storage room just so I have some stuff to hand. Right, you can come on out. So no, enrichment chamber. Let's go in there. Right, so I've got the osmium, gold, and the iron. And that should mean we can now craft the electrolytic core, and then osmium. That could be tricky. Yeah, we need to do some more of that, don't we? Let's take all that and get that processed. That should be enough to do this. So that gives us the gas burning generator. Right, so for this, I think there's 2 types of gases you can use, but one of them doesn't produce enough to keep it running itself, so it's completely pointless. So what we're going to do is burn ethene. So to do this, we need to use a pressurized reaction chamber, and we need to put hydrogen and biofuel into there. And that'll produce substrate, which we can use to create HDPE, but we're not going to do that just yet. So we're just going to get rid of all this, and then that also produces ethene. So stepping back, we need to produce the biofuel, which we know how to do. So we need a crusher and any organic material, and then we also need to produce hydrogen, which we did last time in the electrolytic separator. So we need a pump, an electrolytic separator, a pressurized reaction chamber, and then that should produce us everything we need to go into the gas burning generator. So we're going to do this as a completely standalone system, so we're not going to use the current things that we've already got. So I'm going to need a couple of things. Let's start with the ones we already know. So we can do the crusher first, can't we? Hopefully. So So that I need to do some more basic control circuits. So let's get this going. Get that smelted up. And if we put that into metallurgy confuser, and we need to also do some enriched redstone. We'll go in there. Has that not got full speed? No, it hasn't, has it? Right, so let's try that again. Oh, now I don't have enough redstone. Right, so finally, crusher. We now have that. So that is what we're going to use to create our biofuel. From there, we need another electrolysis separator. So that is another electrolysis core, which luckily we have everything for that now. So that means we can do the electrolysis separator. That's machine 2. We then need the pressurized reaction chamber. And this one, unfortunately, is a little bit more complicated. So there's a couple of things there we haven't done yet. Or actually, it's just the one, isn't it? So we just need a dynamic tank, which is steel and a bucket. No problem. A couple of chemical tanks, but then this is also an upgrade to the enrichment chamber. So we need to do an enrichment chamber first, and then we can use it to craft this. Right, so firstly, let's do the dynamic tank, and you get 4 from that, but we only need 1 of them. Enrichment chamber, no problem. And then we just need to do 1 more basic control circuit, and we've got everything we need. That was pretty painless. Let's just do a few more of those. Okay, so pressurized reaction chamber, we need a couple more steel, but then we can do the basic chemical tanks, and I've just smelted all that. Right, let's grab that. So let's do a couple of the chemical tanks. And it was just 2 steel, wasn't it? So let's go get those. Right, so finally we now have a pressurized reaction chamber. Brilliant. So the final thing we need for this setup is just an electric pump. Oh, I'm really struggling for osmium. I just need to get that smelted. Right, so finally let's get a pump. We should be good to go. Right, okay, so I'm gonna grab this. I can go get this set up down here somewhere, and I'm not gonna worry too much about where it's going because I'm probably gonna move it all again anyway. So let's do a pump, not like that, it'll get the wrong way around. So tell you what, should we, no, let's go off to the side of this. I do have a couple of cables on me, but this is not enough, so I'm going to need to get some more. So we can power that pump, and then if we put 10 bucket mode on, and put that there, that's now producing water, so we can put mechanical pipe on top of there, and that is going to go into the electrolysis separator. Let's put that down like that, and then we'll have the pipe on top. It's going to go into there and produce hydrogen and oxygen. So before we put the other machine down, what we definitely need to do is set the side config for the chemicals. The side where the pump is, we obviously don't want anything there, and this is output 1, which is correct. We want hydrogen going this way. So when you're going right to left, it's set up as it should be, but if you're going left to right, you need to make sure you turn these round. With the hydrogen, that is going to go into the pressurized reaction chamber, but we also need water going into there as well. So we are going to need another pipe that we can put into the top. So if we just put the pressurized reaction chamber down like that, and set the side config, so at the moment, the right is output, so if we change that to input, no, that's the wrong one. If we do it on the chemicals and change that to input, that is now receiving hydrogen. So we just need to pipe the water into the top and also power it, and then that will start producing ethane as long as we put the biofuel in there as well. So what I normally like to do is put a crusher in front of the pressurized reaction chamber and then an item pipe on top of that, sending it straight into it, and then we just need to somehow get rid of the substrate that comes out of here as well. And then the gas finally will go into the gas burning generator, and that will produce the crazy amount of power. So let me just get the last couple of things I need, and we can get this setup finished off, and then somehow make it look good, and maybe do a few more of them. Right, so I think I've got everything I need now. So I've crafted up some more cables, we'll put that there, so that is going to have that powered. We also need another mechanical pipe, so I can put that on there, and that is actually now doing its thing. So we'll see what it produces here. We've got substrate and a little bit of ethane. So we can send the ethane directly into the gas burning generator. Now I don't have any tubes, so I'm going to need to put it directly next to it. So will that go? No, wrong way. Always do it the wrong way. So let's have that, put that there. Now we just need to make sure with this one that on the chemicals this is set to output. So instantly that buffer of 80,000 FE has completely filled up. So how am I going to know how much this is producing if I'm not using it? Right, anyway, so let's get the last bit of this done. So I'm going to need to power this underneath as well. It's always the biofuel that looks a bit rubbish. So if we put the crusher down there, and then we just need to fill this up with something. Oh wait, so we'll take the pumpkins out there, we'll have the biofuel as well, and then we just need to put the pumpkins into here. Those will start doing the thing. We do need to upgrade this as well. So we'll put that in there. We need to get the speed upgrades in. But I've also crafted up the basic logistical transport ends. And that's the first time in this series I've done that. And this is the item pipe. That's very similar to these, very similar recipe. But for this, it's a basic control circuit and 2 steel, and you get 8 for that. So we'll put these on top of here. Make sure that the top is set to output and eject is on. And we don't need to do any configuration. That'll send the biofuel directly into there. So also you need to get that upgraded. And I need to get a better energy cube so I can output the power into this as well, do I? So I think that has now done its job, hasn't it? I think what I'm actually going to do, I know I said I'd power it with that, but I can leave it there as a backup, and if this runs out of anything at any point and I need a little kickstart, I can use this. But I don't think I'm going to keep that topped up automatically, so let's get another pipe on there, and now that can power everything else. But I also want to send it into an energy cube as well. So let's do a top level energy cube, because we've only got the advanced one at the minute, and we've already produced all the other alloys that we did last time. So if we grab some of those, we can do that up to the ultimate level. So with energy cube, we need to do the energy tablets. So we have this one, so to turn that into this, we need gold, energy tablets, and the reinforced alloy. And then to turn this one into the top level, we need diamonds, atomic alloy, and more energy tablets. So it's going to get the most expensive bit of this is gold, I think. So let's get 6, is that right? No, I need 4, I think. So let's do that. Okay, so if we steal this and come over to Wilson, let's turn this. You're not going to let me do it. You right, let's do it the hard way then. You do that. 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 And that. So that now stores 25 million FE. But we're going to turn this into the top tier one. So let's have that, and then the energy tablets, and that does 100 million FE. Much better. Right. So I've put this back down like that. Right. So the top is input. Now, when I did this before, it was a real pain. I had to put it. Right. So that's output. Those are all powered. Oh, we need some more cables, and this isn't going to be fast enough to transfer everything. So I'm probably going to need to upgrade the cables as well. But if we just set this to import, so we'll set that to import. So everything that's out part of there, yeah, that'll do. So I need to get some more steel. Get some more of those. And now these can only transfer 3000 FE per tick. And I think this generator is going to do more than that. So we're probably going to need to upgrade this. So let's just stick that there. Yeah, so that's producing 18,000 FE per tick, which is absolute madness, isn't it? So those cables will fill up, but then also pass everything into here. Basically, this produces tens of thousands of FE per tick. So one of these should more than do everything I've got planned for the immediate future anyway. But I'm going to do a few of them. I think I'm going to do 4 or 5. I normally do that kind of setup, and I basically reproduce this whole thing apart from the crusher. One crusher will be enough to keep everything else going, as long as we've got it upgraded, because obviously at the minute it's just really slow. But that is completely filled up, and I need to get rid of the substrate as well. What is that producing? Oh no, the hydrogen's not. Alright, I need to set that to dumping as well, do I? Right, yeah, so that completely stopped there. But as this has more ethane in it, this will start producing more. So it's gone down to 8,000 FE per tick there, but as more goes in, that should start producing more. But obviously this is really slow at the minute, so I can upgrade this as well, and I'm definitely going to do that. So I'll go get that sorted now, and then I'll try and get another couple of these set up. And a very long time later, I've done a little bit of work, and I still only have one of them, but I've rotated it round so I can have a few more going this way. So we do have a mess of pipes here, and I will explain that in a minute. But what I've tried to do is basically put everything underground, so we just have the main machines above ground, and we have a space for another 3 here. So that's where I'm going to put those. But you'll see this thing at the end. I wanted to get my biofuel setup going, so what I've done is built a classic Ilmango melon and pumpkin farm and got that going down here. So we do have a noisy minecart coming up and down, because I don't think there's any way in Mekanism making this any easier. So this is a completely vanilla farm with a completely vanilla collection system and drop-off station. So that just puts the pumpkins and the melon slices into there. We can then use the pipe to transfer it into here, but I've just been doing it manually for now. But as you can see, we're already backed up in this. So we just have a logistical transporter pulling items out of there into the crusher. And then this is turning it into biofuel and putting it into the barrel above. From that barrel, we are sending the items down this basic logistical transporter, and that at the moment just goes into this pressurized reaction chamber. Because it's backed up, it's not doing anything in the minute. But then we also have the pipe coming down into here, and that'll go to another 2 there, and then we have another one here. I've also moved the pump down here as well. We did have it next to it before, but what I've done is put that down here, and then we just have this basic mechanical pipe taking everything along here, and that just goes to the points where it's needed. So that'll go into the pressurized reaction chamber and into the electrolytic separator, so we'll get the hydrogen from that, then it can be used in there for the ethene. The other pipe is just the output of the power basically. So I did have the biofuel automatically going into the bio generator as well, but it was just using up too much of it because this thing was constantly running and it produces nowhere near as much power as these. So I decided to disconnect that, but just leave it there as a backup just in case something goes wrong and I need a boost of power. I can stick something in there. From the gas bend generators, we have all the outputs coming from these. We're going to have one at the minute, but we are going to put some more in, and that'll come down here and it'll power all the machines that produce the stuff it needs, and it'll also power the pump and the crusher down here as well. So it's all a completely self-contained system, and then the universal cable as well goes right down to the end and into the ultimate energy cube. So even though this is the ultimate top level one, this is completely full as well. So I have over 100 million FE in there now. So when this is full, like it is now, this produces 70,000 FE per tick, which is absolutely mad for a fairly straightforward setup. And we're going to have 4 of them, so that's 280,000 FE per tick. So yeah, that is going to be good. And I think this farm should be enough. I didn't think it would be before I built it, but as I've seen it in action, it's definitely keeping up. But I'm not really using much power at the minute, so I can't really test it until I get something running. But that is the plan for next time. We're going to be crafting something that is going to use up a ton of this power. So I do have the machines to set up another one here. But before we do that, what I want to do is upgrade these cables. So I do have a crafting table on me, because I haven't had one down here all the time I've been doing this. So let's just stick that there for now. So what we can do, if I get my personal chest, with all of these cables, and this works the same way for all of them, but I'll just start with the universal cables. To craft these up into the next tier, what we need to do is put them around an infused alloy. So these transfer 3,000 FE per tick, these are 51,000. So let's do that, and then we just go up through the other 2 levels. So those 51,000, this is 409,000. Which is getting a bit crazy. And if we go into the ultimate version, this is 3.2 million FE per tick, which is absolutely crazy. But to rip out all of these cables and do that and craft them would be a little bit annoying. So luckily, there is an easier way. So if we just take these infused alloys, and if we just right click on one of these, that will instantly upgrade 8 of them without having to rip them down, craft them, and place them back down again. So it's definitely very easy to do it this way. If we just right click on there on all of these, this will upgrade all these into the advanced version, and then we're just going to do the same thing with all these, and hopefully I should have enough. It shouldn't take that much, seeing as it has 8. But as we're upgrading all these power cables, the generator should now start kicking in, and this should start emptying out, because these have a buffer. So actually it's already full, isn't it? So let's just do all these. But yeah, so as you can see, that buffer is just filling up straight away. So I think that's all of those advanced ones done. We have a couple here. We do have one on here because I'm going to need to get rid of the substrate somehow. I still haven't figured out how I'm going to do that yet. Probably just pipe it somewhere and use like a vanilla dropper to put it into a cactus or lava or something. So that's all of those done. So now we can do the exact same thing and turn it into the elite version. Actually, no, I won't do that one now. Just do all of these. Oh, it's pretty pricey. Oh, that's going to be a bit of waste. I'm going to do one there, I think. And if we do these. And that one. So is that all those done? Yeah, I think that's all those done, isn't it? Oh, I didn't do the item pipes right. Okay, let's do that. And that. And you're alright. So that's all those done. So we can now finally turn all of these into the ultimate versions of these cables. So this is going to transfer an absolute ton of power, but also the items and the fluids will come through a lot quicker as well. So once we have 4 of these machines up and running, they're going to be using quite a lot of stuff very quickly. So we need to be able to transfer it as quickly as we can. So if I do that, is it going to do the others? Yes, it is. Good. Alright, is that everything? I think it is. Oh no, I've got a bit over there. So let's do you and you. And I think that should be it. So now we can take these other machines that we've got here. Right, so I'm going to put the pressurized reaction chamber there, and that should start receiving the biofuel, and it's also got the water in as well, so that's working as it should. And then I want to put the gas burning generator over here, but I need to make sure that is the right side, isn't it? Yeah. So I need to make sure that this is outputting to that side for the chemical. Sorry. Eject on. And then finally, we just need to do the electricity separator on the end. And we do need to power these as well. I don't have the power cable going under these, so I just need to put that in there. So that'll get that running like that. And then as I go, oh, and I even got the fluid pipe there as well. Oh, that's not good, is it? So let's craft up some more of the mechanical pipes. Just go through all of these. Elite, and then finally ultimate. So we can stick those on there. We'll do that one there as well. Now I'm hoping this will not push the oxygen. What will it? So I need to make sure that's done on dumping, and then we just need to put the input of this one, chemicals, to that. So that's to get the hydrogen now, and that's doing its thing. So I do have a few of the energy and speed upgrades on me, but unfortunately this is all I can do because I'm completely out of osmium now. So I need to do something next time that's going to help me get into some mining. So we'll just put the energy and the speed upgrades in there. And if we have a look at this, that's not getting loads yet, is it? Right, so at the minute, that's only produced... Have I not put the speed upgrades in there? Oh, it's only got 4 in, that's why. Right, so I've only got 4 speed upgrades in there, and that's nowhere near fast enough to get this going. So at the minute, it's producing next to nothing. Yeah, so because all these cables are full, the amount of power I'm producing is just filling up this crazy storage so quickly. So we can get into other storage for the power that will store a lot more, but it's like a multi-block structure and you need to do a few more steps before we can do that. But yeah, this is an absolutely crazy power setup. So I am going to get the rest of it done in between episodes, but I'm not going to be able to do the speed upgrades until I can get some more osmium. So I may do some more manual mining, but next time we're going to do the digital miner, which is something that you can just plonk down your well. It's a big huge block that's quite a tricky craft, but we have done a few of the things already. So once we get it done, we can just stick it down, provide it with a ton of power, and it will just mine anything you want in the world. You can set filters on it and say you want to mine all of the diamonds. It will go looking for all diamonds and just pull it directly to it. So that is going to be a very powerful thing, and obviously the first thing I'm going to use that for is osmium. But I think now we've got that done, we are pretty much there. So that's going to keep going until either the substrate fills up or this fills up, because it can't actually do anything at the minute because all of the power is completely full. So I think that is a good place to leave it. So I've got a lot done today. I've got my favourite mid-game power setup going, and it is so powerful. It is definitely enough to run the digital miner, quite a few of them actually, and a few other things. So I'm very happy that we've got this done. And next time we'll get into using this power and getting really ridiculously overpowered. So I am going to leave it there, but if you have enjoyed this episode, please do leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. And I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.